This is part 3 of week 5 Thursday. So we're going to go ahead and continue with this. All right, so let's start off over here then. Which one do you want to go over?
Your screen just like changed to that.
Which one would you like to go over? Let me know. First one, second one. What does it say? What does it say?
Y equals 5 and x equals -4. Those two.
Okay, you see that okay? All right.
Yeah.
So we are going to find a table of coordinates.
Yes.
And then x, y intercept. Identify the slope and y intercept, right? Okay. You could put like a -2, -1, 0, 1. It doesn't matter. It's always just going to be 5. There's no x. So to plug in. If your graph y equals 5, what kind of a shape would that be in? What graph would that be?
Straight.
Thank you. That line is always straight. But is it vertical or is it horizontal?
Horizontal.
Y equals 5. What is your slope for a horizontal line?
Horizontal is
Remember, there's only two kinds. Vertical is undefined. Horizontal is a slope of 0. So your slope is 0, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Your y-intercept is your b, right?
Yes.
Look at this equation right here. Y equals mx plus b. Which one do you think is going to be your b?
My b is going to be 5.
Yeah, it's a number that's not attached to x, right?
Yes.
And it makes sense right here. B is 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is it. That's how you can do. You can pick any values of x, whether it's -infinity, -100, -20. It's still going to be at 5, right? It's going to be a horizontal line. It doesn't change. So, if you take a look at x-intercept, y is equal to 0, right? If I cover the 0, 0 equals 5. Well, does this graph ever hit the x-axis?
No.
It's going to be 9, because 0 does not equal 5, right? So your x-intercept is equal to none. You see that?
Yes.
Let's look for the y-intercept. Put a 0 for x, okay? So you're going to go ahead. There's no x, so y is just going to be 5, right? So, and there it is. Y equals 5. That's where it hits the y-axis. Is that 5? That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Do you see that?
Yeah.
X equals -4. What direction is that line going to go?
Vertical.
Okay, now draw the line. And you go ahead and fill this part out. So this is a vertical line. What do we know about the slope of a vertical line?
Slope of a vertical line is undefined.
It's undefined, so you're going to put undefined. Okay? Is this vertical line ever going to touch the y-axis?
No.
Never touch y-axis. So what is your y-intercept?
My y-intercept is
none. Not 0. If it says 0, it means that line's touching 0. Okay?
Yeah.
So x value is always going to be -4. Y value, it can be any number. You can put -1, 0, 1, 2. You see that?
Yeah.
So with the x and y intercept, this graph is touching the x-axis, right? Where is it touching the x-axis? At -4. That's your x-intercept. Do you see that?
Yes.
For your y-intercept, is it ever touching the y at all?
No.
It's none. And that's going to be your y-intercept. It's never going to touch it. Okay?
Yes.
All right. I wanted you to go ahead and work on the next one.
I did.
You did? Okay, great. So, this is not in standard form, but it's also not in y-intercept form. If I divide everything by 3 right here, then my y is equal to 2/3 x plus 2. Now it's a y-intercept, right?
Yeah.
What's my slope?
I forgot to put my graph paper. I did all my.
Okay. Yeah. So let's do -2, or actually it doesn't matter what you do. I'm gonna put -1, 0, 1, 2. So those are the x values. You're going to plug it into here. So you're going to have a positive 2/3 plus 2, right?
Mhm.
Gotta change this into a 1, to a 2, to a 4, which is a, oops, why can I sweep this up? It's a 3. Which is the 8/3, right?
Yeah.
That's the first one. 0, that's gonna give it a 2. If it's a 1, negative 2/3 plus 6/3 is a 4/3, okay? So this is just math, right?
Yeah.
And then negative 2 times 2 is a negative 4/3 plus, you know, the denominator has to be 3 again, so you already know the top is going to be 6. Okay, something's happening. Which is a 2/3.
Yeah.
And that's what, those are the points, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so then when we look for the x and y intercept, wow, I already know this line is going to hit the x and y intercept because if I were to graph this, start at 2, 1, 2. Slope is down 2 over 1, 2, 3, right? Down 2 over 1, 2, 3. Up to over left 1, 2, 3. Excuse me. Do you see how it hits the x-axis right here? This right here is the x-intercept. Do you see that?
Yeah.
And this right here is the y-intercept, right?
Yeah.
But we need to have like an actual number. I mean, it looks like it's at positive 3 or something, but I don't know for sure, right?
Yes.
And that's why we need to plug it in here. So what we're gonna do here is for your x-intercept. So this is your x-intercept. Y is 0, right?
Yes.
So going back to our original equation, we're gonna go ahead and cover the y. So 0 equals negative 2x plus 6. 2x equals positive 6, x equals 3. So it's kind of right. It's at 3, 0, which is right there, right?
Yes.
That's your x-intercept. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the y-intercept, okay? For the y-intercept, remember that you're going to have x equals 0. So you need to go back to your equation, cover the x, right?
Yes.
You have 3y equals 6, well, y equals 2. So 0, 2. So that was kind of close. I thought it was a 3, but it's a 2. And that's it. Okay, let's go back to the very top. Okay, that one was a little bit weird because it wasn't in standard form. Okay, this one is in standard form, right?
Yes.
Okay, so being in standard form, I'm just finding the x and y intercept. So this is the x-intercept. So y is 0. If you come over here, cover the y. You have 4x equals 15, right? So unfortunately, your answer is not going to be perfect. Okay, so it's going to be 15/4, right? That's your first x-intercept. Then we're going to find the y-intercept. Y-intercept x is 0. So you go back to the original equation, cover that. Do not cover that negative. That's in front of the 5 because that's with the 5. Okay. So then we have negative 5y equals 15. Well, guess what? 5 equals negative 3. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So then from here, in order for you to find the slope, you will have to literally solve this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So subtract the 4 on both sides. So we have negative 5y equals a negative 4x plus 15 divided by 5, negative 5 on both sides. You get a positive 4 or 5x minus 3. Slope is 4/5. Y-intercept is negative 3. So this part right here, you forgot the negative 5. You got to, this is a negative right there. Do you see that?
Yes.
You forgot that negative. So starting at negative 3, 1, 2, 3, right there. Go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is your line.
I have the same answer as you, but like my graph is the same, but it's in like a different position. Like it's in a different area.
That's because you didn't start at negative 3. You still have a point at negative 3 right here. Why don't you have a point at negative 3? Y-intercept is on negative 3. Let me go down a little bit. Yeah. You can go ahead and make that. All right, let's go ahead and continue with the next question. So the next question is the one down over here.
Wait, I swear
We did not. I told you we did not. All right, so this is in standard form. And because it's in standard form, you want to solve for y. So we should have 3y equals negative 2x plus 3. Y equals negative 2 over 3x plus 1. Y-intercept is 1. Your slope is negative 2/3. Is that what you have? Is that not what you have?
Yes.
Okay, start off at 1. Then you go down 2 over 1, 2, 3. Down 2 over 1, 2, 3. Up 2 over 1, 2, 3, and then you just simply draw your line. You can see here that it does touch the x-axis and the y-axis, so we do need to find the x and y intercept. To find the x-intercept, y is 0, so you cover that. So you get 2x equals 3, x equals 3 over 2. That is your x-intercept, which makes sense right there. It looks like it's 1.5, comma 0. That's your x-intercept. Then to find your y-intercept, remember you need to cover the x as 0, so just cover that. So you get 3y equals 3, so y equals 1. If you look at this part right here, it is at 0, comma 1, and that's your y-intercept. Now that we're done with that, you still need to find the table of values. So you can use whatever number you want. You could just use positive, so 1, 2, 3, 4 if you want. You will be plugging this x into the y-intercept because you're solving for y, obviously. So looking at this, negative 2 over 3 plus 3 over 3 is 1/3. So that's 1/3. Next one, negative 2 times 2 is a negative 4/3 plus, it's a 1, but remember you need to have common denominators, right? So it's 3 over 3 is 1, correct? So that's a negative 1 over 3. So that's a negative 1/3. That's your answer there. Next one is 3. So 2 times 3 is a negative 6 over 3, which is great because it gives you negative 2 plus 1. So that's a negative 1. Do you see that? Okay. 4. Negative 2 times 4 is a negative 8. Negative 8 over 3 plus 1. That's a 3 over 3. So that's negative 5 over 3. And that's it. Does that make sense? And the other page, I believe you did everything. So that, or actually, we did not do the.
No, we didn't.
We didn't do this one here.
What?
We didn't do this one here. So this is your equation. You got your equation wrong. This is not correct. Did you change that? It's positive 4 over 5x minus 3. Did you change it? Yes. And you can just do 0, 1, 2, 3. So when I plug it in, 0 times x is just 0, minus 3 is negative 3. Next one is 1. 1 times 4/5 is 4/5 minus 3 over 1. Change that to a 5, 15. So that's going to be 11 over 5. Do you see that? Okay, if it's 2, 8 times 2 or 4 times 2 is 8. That's 8 over 5 minus 3. But you need to have common denominator. 15 over 5 is the same thing as negative 3, right? So that's going to give you 8 minus 15. So that's a negative 7 over 3, right? All right, next one here. Positive 3. So 4 times 3 is 12. 12 over 5 minus 15 over 5. So the answer is negative 3 over 5. And that's it. All right, that concludes everything. You need to be careful with the vertical slope and the horizontal slope, okay? And just be careful with that. And I'll have this video up there as well.